Hey everybody, welcome to Kats Creations live on Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today's date. Just today's date.
Friday the 5th.
Friday the 5th of April. So for those of you that are wanting to know, did you get the right live? This is Friday, April 5th. We are doing a wedding grapevine wreath. I know it's not even into April yet, but you know what? Weddings are happening all the time. So if somebody decides to ask you to do a wedding wreath, or you want to do a wedding wreath as a wedding gift, a bridal shower gift, anniversary gift, these are amazing to do. So we're going to be incorporating floral with our grapevine. We're going to add some lace and some floral ribbon. We're going to incorporate a sign, and I think that's pretty much about it. And we're going to be using a 24-inch, this is bigger than normal for me, a 24-inch oval grapevine that I found at Hobby Lobby. So, anybody there?
Yep, Karen, Diana, Audrey, Gloria, Caitlin,
Oh, awesome.
Teresa, Barbara, Sherry, Peggy, Sandra, Jane, Venus, Barbara, and Teresa.
Okay. So again, thanks for joining me. You can pretty much do a wedding wreath on just about any type of wreath frame. I think we've done one on a rag wreath using white or ivory muslin with a, what do you call it? A vintage, yeah, rag bow. But I decided I really wanted to do this one. And another thing you're gonna also have to remember is that every wedding party is going to have their own colors in their florals. So the colors I chose to do today is going to be a white, an ivory, a peach, and then like a light pink, almost a blushy color pink for this one. So it kind of plays into the colors of this 2.5-inch ribbon. So the first thing that you want to do when you're using a grapevine wreath, because this is going to hang directly on the customer's door or their wall or wherever. I mean, it could be the showcase for their wedding table or bridal shower table, is you want to go through and clean it up. And by cleaning it up, what I mean is taking your hands, running your hands over the top of your grapevine, and then wherever you find pieces where you're pulling up like parts of a stick or end pieces that are kind of jutting out, or you're kind of doing a little funky thing that you don't really care for, you want to kind of take it and pull it off. So I was doing the large chunk of this before we went live, because this one was pretty hairy, meaning it had a lot to be cut off. So this is what I'm doing. So as I do this, I'm feeling for those pieces that are going to kind of come up and might pose a challenge, either on a door or on their wall. So you want to make sure you're pulling off all the sharp pieces. A lot of them are just like little pieces of a twig where they're kind of sticking off to the side. So you just want to kind of trim them back. You could technically take them and wire them down to your frame, but it depends on how much of your frame is showing. So I just do this, kind of go back and forth, and then they kind of make themselves known.
Yep. Hi gals just joining. Hi Peggy, Judy, Barbara, Sonia, Lorraine, Sandra, Linda, and then Sarome said hi. Kat, I'm Sarome from Virginia, so happy to be able to join you again. Thank you for sharing your talents and inspiring us.
Thank you. Well, like I said, wedding is going to be huge. And we're going to try to incorporate a lot of different wedding aspects. We're going to try to do some centerpieces, floral centerpieces, and then just random things that I think will kind of help supplement your shop besides just being nothing but wreath decor. So now I know I'm going to be putting a bow at the top and a bow at the bottom. This one's actually going to have a double bow. So knowing that, I'm not going to be so overly picky about some of the branches that have come loose. I did go back in and take some floral wire and wire in some ones that were just, they didn't look like they were too secure. So I pulled them out, and I've already done the back. So you would do the same thing with the back of your wreath, just run your hands over them. Make sure that all your pieces that are gonna potentially touch the customer's door are all flat, they're all smooth, that you don't have any protruding sticks, that when the customer is putting it on their door or the wind rocks it, you know, they're not gonna pull their wreath off and find that they have their door surface scratched.
You could also, some of the gals on the live could also probably reach out to local wedding coordinators and planners and give them their business cards.
Exactly.
For making wreaths for weddings. Yeah.
Yes, you could.
Even florists.
You could. Or you could just take a floral class and then supplement your ability to do more. So you're not just a wreath maker, but you could be a floral designer as well. Most of the floral classes are pretty short, and they're only, I want to say they're 6 weeks, and most of them are just 1 or 2 days a week. So they're really simple for you to go in and do. So remember, grapevines are extraordinarily messy. They're going to leave a lot of debris. So then you'll want to pick what will be a good top or bottom. It's just usually user preference. And then I'm going to kind of take my sign, because my sign for me pretty much dictated where I wanted to put it. And I think I'm going to kind of go with this look. And we'll be cleaning up the debris field a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this sign came from Hobby Lobby. This week, all their his and her section, which is their wedding line, was all 50% off. So the sign was $9.99. So half of that was only $5. So it's a gorgeous sign for $5. I'm leaving the hanger on it in the event that the customer wants to remove the sign and maybe just incorporate the wreath, or maybe they want to put their wedding initial on instead of this. It's entirely up to them. You want to make it as multi-purpose as possible. So the first thing I want to do before I start my florals, in this case, because the sign is so big, is I'm going to attach my sign first, and then this way I will know how far out or how far in I can extend my floral, because I don't want to impact the wording on the sign. So I'm going to take my wreath and set this to the side.
Hey, Robert is on. Robert Bacon's on. Hey, Robert.
We were just talking about you today.
Were. Yep. And then Anne said, hey, from Florida, just received my Elfie wreath today. Gorgeous. Thanks.
Aw, I love that wreath. The sign was just perfect for the wreath design, the little Elfie sign, because everyone's taking selfies, so I thought that would make an Elfie. So, knowing that our sign is going to fit here, I was telling Steve before we went live, is it here? Let me turn it around and look. Or was it here?
I think that's one of the questions too, is
how do you know which way to do your sign?
how do you know which way to do it in the grapevine, and how do you know what is the front or the back of the grapevine?
Oh, that's user preference. You could look at the front and the back and decide which do you like. The back for me generally has a tendency of having a lot of the thicker branches that wind.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want that look on the front, then use that as your front. I don't, so I am just going to utilize this as my front. And I want to make sure with this particular sign, like when I went through the design process, I knew I was going to do a grapevine for my floral. I knew I wanted a wedding themed sign. I wasn't sure what sign I wanted, so I just went to Hobby Lobby and I found the sign. This was my whole theme. So I walked around with the sign, go over to the grapevine section, start pulling off grapevines, and start laying it on the grapevine to see, you know, is it going to, on its standard, what is it, 18-inch? It was actually, the sign was too big for just your standard round one. So then off to the side, Hobby Lobby had these ovals, so I decided to just take advantage of the oval look and kind of elongate the floral, and then do like a bow here and a bow at the bottom, and just have this portion of the grapevine technically showing. So
Is this the wedding design for a wedding, or is it like a gift for a wedding? I mean, you could do both, right?
You could do either or. Yeah, I mean, and that's why when I listed the wreath, I said, if these are not your wedding colors, contact me and we can do something similar with this design and incorporate the colors of their wedding.
And
Go ahead.
and then Jean asked, what's the size of the sign? It looks like it's a 10 by.
It's actually 9 by 13.38 inches.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's kind of funky.
Jean, did you hear that?
9 by 13.38 inches. So I guess it's trying to go like, it's not quite 13 and a half, but it's not quite 13 either. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attach it just the top in both of these corners. So I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to add 2 pipe cleaners to the back and we're going to secure it here. I'm not going to worry about the bottom because I don't need to, it's just hanging flat. Also makes the process a lot easier if the customer wants to take off the sign and use the sign for something else, then they're not having to pull out 4 different pipe cleaners. So pretty much right in each corner is where I'm going to use my pipe cleaner, and I opted to go with the dark brown because I know it's going to go through the grapevine. So I wanted to make it a little less obvious that that's exactly what it was. So I'm going to turn this over. We know we're going to attach it here, and we're going to attach it here. So this is 1/4 inch.
That's about 3/8, so it's a little thicker than a 1/4 inch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as it's a 1/4 inch, I can staple it in. So I choose to, on my wood signs, if they're a 1/4 inch or greater, just use a stapler to attach my pipe cleaners to the sign. This way, I'm assured that these are not going to come off. That's the embarrassing thing. I think we as wreath makers don't want to have our sign pop off.
That's awesome, Maureen. She said, my husband and I will be celebrating our 60th year anniversary in September. Could you show how to do a lantern swag with a swag on top? She said 60s diamond.
A lantern with a lantern swag on top?
Just a lantern swag.
Oh, well, in our private group, that's what we're doing this Sunday is the wedding lantern swag that would kind of go hand in hand. So it just depends. Like with Kaylee's wedding, she used lanterns in her wedding. So it kind of gives you an option. If someone comes to you and says, can you add floral to a lantern? Then your answer to them is going to be, of course. And you would just incorporate their colors.
Yeah, and then Shirley and Lynn both said that their 50 is coming up in September.
Congratulations to all of you.
Congrats.
It's hard to do these days.
Yeah, it is.
This day and age. So the grapevine, like I said, I got from Hobby Lobby. So I'm just bringing my sign through and I'm just going to lightly attach it. That way, if I need to move it, I don't have to move a ton of pipe cleaners. I like them pretty meaty, pretty thick. Hobby Lobby today has some pretty thin ones. I was lucky to find this one.
Brenda asked that earlier. Where do you think the best grapevines are?
Joann's for me is usually the best, but I wasn't feeling like driving all the way to Joann's today. Was it today? No, yesterday. It was before you got home.
And then Judy earlier says sometimes you find a lot of leaves inside them.
You do.
So you got to clean those out too.
Yeah, this one did not. This is actually a lot of twigs. There's not a lot of pine needles. That's usually what I see in a lot of the debris or in a lot of the grapevines. So there's our sign attached. So not much movement on the bottom by not attaching that. And as you can see, roughly, this is where my pipe cleaners have attached to.
Yep, and they'll get cleaned up.
Yeah, I always leave them until the tail end, and then you go around and you clean up everything. So I'm going to tuck my bow to the back for this.
Oh, Maureen said, great, I'm in the private group. Awesome, Maureen.
Yep, so you won't miss out at all. So it'll probably be something similar to this using, because I have a lot of florals left.
And nobody's asked yet, but where'd the sign come from?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
Because I told them when we're at Hobby Lobby, this was my design idea, was that. Okay, so I already have the bow pre-done for the top. I'll show you what this, because I wanted shorter tails for the top. At the bottom I want something a little bit longer so that the tails can kind of cascade out the bottom. So the bow for this one is just done like this. So it's actually going to sit up here like this. I wanted to make sure it's not going to impede my sign at all. So we're going to do one like this, and then I will make the one for the bottom on our live. So knowing that this is going to sit pretty much up here, I always say that if you take your bow, take your entire hand and keep that idea in mind. This is the area you don't want to be adding any floral to, because your bow is going to cover up everything else. So hands width, and then from here, this is where you're going to start adding your floral. So in this case, we're going to start with greenery. You guys know that I do it the same way every single time. We have to lay down our greenery base, and then we'll come in with our focal point flowers, then we'll come in with some medium, and then we'll do our small filler flowers. If you keep those steps in mind, it will help you in all of your floral designs. So it's a little hard to throw in focal point flowers and then try to add greenery, or do everything kind of out of order. It starts to get a little difficult, a little challenging to kind of figure out where everything's going to sit. So
Leanne asks, is this for sale or are you making it for someone?
no, it's for sale.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm fine if it doesn't, because it's a great wedding gift to give anyone. It's a great bridal shower gift to give a new bride. Like I said, they can take the sign off, they can put their letter on it, they can have a sign custom made. So I'm moving the ribbon out of the way.
For now, do you have this on Etsy or is this on your website too?
It's on Etsy. Yeah, I didn't put it on the website yet. Kind of like trying to do this short and sweet. Okay, so the floral that I'm going to use, or the greenery, I decided on this one, I'm using Boxwood. So I have two different color Boxwood, so I just like the way this played off the sign. Like before I go live, I sit here and I play with all of my florals, and I pretty much lay out the whole thing, and then sadly I have to take everything apart and put it all away, but it kind of gives me an idea of what we're gonna do. The Boxwood came from Hobby Lobby, so it comes with, there's three main branches, but they're all wired. So you can take this and twist this if you need to as it's arcing down. So we're gonna do a dark green and a light green on each side. So I have the darker, and we're gonna have it cascade about this far down, and then we're just gonna be bringing this back up. Remember, here's our bow. So we wanna make sure this is where we keep this area clear so that we have a path to get our ribbon or our bow down to. So the Boxwood at Hobby Lobby I think was $3.99, but if you go on the days where it's 50% off, it's basically like $4 for two. So it's like $8 for your greenery. And these are a nice kind of greenery. So what I'm going to do is take them and break them down into their little pieces, because then they're easier.
So it looks like it's a female, Kyle Nicole, but she might pronounce it Kylie. It's
Okay.
Kyle. So hi Kat, very excited to catch you live. Usually I watch you on YouTube later.
Aw, thank you.
And we will post this on YouTube later.
We will. And maybe tonight. Sometimes if I can get it, it all depends on the computer speed and the internet and what's going on. But if I can get it to load pretty quickly, I try to do it the same night. So save these little end pieces. They're great for stirring your glue in your glue skillet. So I'm just breaking these down for both. And then do this like this. So there's that one. So I have a grand total of 6 pieces. And remember that also on all of our floral, greenery is already there. So we're going to incorporate that, so I don't have to worry about having a perfectly covered green base, because our floral is going to come in and do that too.
Hi Sharon, hi Brenda. Hi, gals, just joining.
So, this is where you get to be kind of picky. So, I know I want the darker to kind of come down a little bit longer. So, this is where I love grapevines because you can just take it and stick it directly in here. I might want that one up a little higher. Still a little bit higher. So I'm looking at placement, how far down do I want to bring it? Trying to make it somewhat even. I mean, they're not the exact same boxwood pieces. So I'm thinking like that. Then I have my little green pieces that I can bend. Kind of, let's see, trying to utilize some of this. So I'm just doing this for placement to see if I like where everything's going to lay first. I think I want it like this because I know here's my space. I think I want it right about here. So I'm just backfilling pieces, knowing so we're going to take this and bend this down so it's in here, and then we're going to come in and just kind of play with some side pieces, and we'll make them come out the sides. Because I'm all about, I think I want this one up a little bit more. So these ones have a lot of longer pieces in here. So I like the darker green. It just seems to have a couple longer, like it has two long ones rather than the darker green is a little bit more, it's got one long, two short, and then the lighter has two short, one long. So let me move this one up, trying to not impede my sign at all. So incorporate this. And then this one will go here. I'll bring this one up.
Yeah, you need some on the outside edge a little bit.
Right here, yeah. I know. But I have floral with greenery too, so I'm not overly picky. I'm just looking at something right there. So I think I'm gonna lay it like this, and the ones that are a little top heavy that won't lay down, I'm actually gonna wire those in. So let me cut this down just a little bit. Okay, this is where I'm going to take my glue skillet. I'm going to move this down because we can't take our glue skillet and set it on top of the mat because it'll warp the mat. So, can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to take this and dip this into the glue skillet.
You can move your wreath over too.
The wreath, I know, but I'm okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add these in, right where I have them.
And she'll kind of keep her finger where she had them.
Yeah, I've learned the hard way. Like once you're sitting there with glue on your stick, trying to find where was that place I needed? Where was I going to stick that? The glue's like sitting here dripping hot. So this one I pretty much know.
Hey Kathy, Sharon, hey bye. Leanne, Robin. Welcome all. Hi Shirley.
So I'm going to kind of take these and kind of arc them down so they won't be popping up quite as much. So I like mixing lighter greens with darker greens. That's just my preference. That's what I like. Take my glue off. We'll just throw that back in the pot. So the one thing I like about using the glue skillet is I can honestly say I have never burnt myself with the glue skillet. Can't say that for the glue gun. So we're gonna try to arc these again.
Wow, Sharon said she actually makes her own grapevines with lots of small twigs because she likes the rustic look.
Yes.
One time she actually picked up poison oak
Oh.
one year because she was trying to pull it up, so now she just gets them from
Wherever.
She doesn't get them from trees, just fences.
Oh, very cool. That's original idea. It's money saving too. I think I watched that on like a home talk episode where somebody had done that. They go out and they wrangle up all their grapevines.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna
We
kind
did
of.
that from time to time when we get used pine cones.
Pine cones are different though.
Yeah.
Okay, I know right where this one's going. And see, I have my glue at just the right temperature to where it's hot enough to stick, but not hot enough to burn. So I can reach in, grab it, and just drop the leftovers inside.
Mary said the flowers you picked out are going to be so beautiful. I'm so happy I found your live show.
Aw, thank you, Mary.
And then Kylie said, is this an oval shaped wreath? Yes.
Yes, it is an oval-shaped wreath.
Where do I get it and what would it cost?
Hobby Lobby, and it was $6.99, but then I used my 40% off coupon on it, so it was like,
$3.
yeah, something like that.
Well, about $3.50, yeah.
But it was a good price, so I was like, okay, that'll work.
So Hobby Lobby, but I know Kat really likes the grapevines from Joann's.
Yeah,
Joanne.
I just didn't feel, our Joann's is, okay, it's not as far away as some people who tell me they have to drive an hour.
Yeah.
Ours is like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I just didn't feel like driving down there because we've been having some super windy days. So I just didn't feel like driving. So I'll take this one first.
Thanks for sharing, gals. This is the public group, so yeah, feel free to share all you want. Appreciate it.
I just like grapevines because you can do so much with them.
Shirley said, thank God for 40% off Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, but the only thing I hate about Hobby Lobby is they don't accept competitors' coupons.
Yeah.
So
Which Joann's and Michael's do.
Joann's and Michael's do. So make sure you take advantage of that. So again, I just use my hand for a gauge and make sure that I'm not going to, see how this one's not, it's not wanting to lay where I want it to lay and stay. So this is where you take your floral wire, and I have mine done in brown. What, babe?
Mary said, and I'm the Mary from West Virginia. You've been answering on my questions on Facebook.
I love answering questions. It's not a challenge at all. So I'm just taking this and wiring this down where I want it to stay on my wreath.
Yeah, surely that is a good price for a grapevine.
What?
It's $7 plus or minus the 40% off.
Yeah, I was lucky.
And then Brittany, we normally keep the glue skillet either about a quarter full or about a third full of glue.
Right now it's about a half. Yeah, right now it's about a half.
Is it half? Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, once it gets down to a quarter, then you want to add some more glue sticks.
So what I do is I take my floral wire and go under a branch, and then I just find the piece I need it to stay, and I just floral wire that in, and then snip it off. And the brown makes it nice because you can't see it.
And then you just push it inside.
Yep. Well, I kind of do it up under like where these leaves are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just attaching it to just under the leaves.
And sometimes if you find a loose enough grapevine coil, you can stick the leaves underneath it.
Sometimes. So I'm just wiring these down a little bit so they're not, see the difference between the pop-up one? It's not a pop-up book, but these ones are popping up a little bit more, and I'm just pushing these down so that when I go to add my floral, my floral isn't getting buried in the greenery. So you just got to take some time with your base and get everything where you want it to go. Plus, it also reinforces, not that the glue's going to come out, but it's just reinforcing what we've already glued in there.
Wow, Brenda said I don't make grapevines, but she was decorating in the fall and found the most beautiful leaves and decided to decorate her house with them. Little did she know, she picked poison sumac.
Oh my
word. She had it everywhere, her eyes were swollen, oh, sorry Brenda.
That is, okay.
Wow.
So we're thankful we live in the desert, right? This is one of the perils of desert living we don't have to endure, is poison anything.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we have not gotten any type of snakes or tarantulas. Even though they're predominantly known for this area, we haven't had to endure any of them.
What's the old adage? Because I think both those are leaves of three. Leaves of three, let them be.
Yeah. So they say, but you just never know. So I'm just fastening them down. That way this will do really good if it happens to get super windy outside. And I think I'm going to do one more just on the this right here. I want it to I want them to nestle where I want them to nestle. Can't do that in nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So secure this one to the outside. And then we'll do this one. All the things you can't do in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think for me, just to give me
push the thing down.
the what?
The end.
I push them in so they go along the branch. I don't necessarily push them in, just down. So I'm just going to take this last one, this big one, kind of wire it where I want it to stay. Right in here. That way it gives me the form I want. It's like I made my own hedge. Okay, so greenery base is created. Go tell me what you guys think so far. What do you think? You have to tell me, babe. If it's camera?
Yeah.
In the camera range
yes,
or
it's
not?
in the camera. I zoomed out.
Okay, so that's kind of where it's going to go. I'm not that picky that it has to be the same on both sides. See this?
Oh, you know I already noticed it.
I know.
But that's okay.
Well,
You're
that side's a little
Doesn't
lower
have-
than the other side, and it's like,
Yeah.
But I might pull different
it-
florals down.
Gives it character.
So when you're adding your greenery, I always say you want them to feather, meaning it needs to gradually feather or get lighter towards the ends. So you want to not have your floral stop like right here. You want to bring your floral in here so that your edges are feathered to go out like a light spray. So remember, here's our bow. Our bow's occupying this much space. See how pretty it already looks? It's going to be amazing. So now we're going to go in and add floral. So the floral I have picked, man, sometimes you wish you would have taken pictures. I think, okay.
Hi, Nancy. Said, hi, Cat Steve. So happy to be here with you all tonight. Missed a lot. Haven't been feeling that great, but now I'm back. Well, glad you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better. And that's Nancy Cornichuk.
Sucks when you don't feel really well.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling out the ones that I'd already pre-cut. So they come like this at Michael's. So this entire thing is $5 at Michael's, or was. So I don't know if they still have these. So I just kind of break it down and put it in little pieces. So I'm setting this one to the side because I had already pre-pulled them all out of the thing. So as you can see, I'm pulling all these colors out. This is where I don't need this. And I'm looking, I know I had, okay. So they're two different colors. So one's more of a pink and the other's more of a blush. So I think when I was playing, so I had this. This is where you play and you look at how do you want them to lay. So I think I have this one in here.
And you don't really want them to lay straight out, so we're looking at you, right? You said you want them to kind of flow naturally, so point in all different directions.
All different directions, yeah. So I'm having these here. So this one's going to sit in there further. I just haven't manipulated it enough. So I might have to cut the stem down a little bit more to get it to sit where I want it to go. Make it shorter.
A lot of y'all said I love it already, and then Kylie said I love the two-tone green.
I think you have to have two-tone greenery. Okay, and then we are using, trying to look at the colors. I need the peachy ones like these. So these are going to go up a little higher. So these are actually going to sit up here. Like so. And sometimes I get really picky. Like I'll go and I'll look and I'll be like, don't like that one. Because this one's like open too much. Like I want them to be a little bit more closed. So I'll use this one. It's closed. It doesn't have a gap. Okay. So main flowers first. So we want to come in with our, was I putting white in? I think I was doing white as my medium color flowers. So when you have your greenery, you want to take your greenery, you want to push it all the way to the top, because this is where we get extra greenery from. These are actually going to come in here. And this one actually came with two.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Yeah, this one looks great, so you have to replicate this, right? So, because this looks so cool like that, and I was like, oh, that looks really pretty. See, again, feathering smaller to the bottom. So you don't want to have something end right here. So we have to replicate this one. So this is where you get just a single bud. And you just kind of make it look the way that it does. I think this is going to be way too big.
No, that looks good.
So I'm just playing with placement right now. This one's not up all the way. There it goes. So we're going to take them, because they're on wires, and we can bend the buds to face in, face them out.
Brenda said yes, white.
White, I know. I'm doing white as a filler because I have these giant, look, I have these giant white ones too, but I was like, they're a little too big, right? So I was like, I'll use those as fillers. Like I'll find filler flowers to add. So you just want to kind of play with your lengths.
So the stems, you cut them down to what, about 4 inches maybe?
I look, because this is a fairly thin, it's not very thick, it's not very meaty, it's comprised of a lot of thin, small little twigs. So I don't want to go too heavy. So I'm just breaking them down to like that much. What is that? Like 3 inches.
3 inches.
Yeah.
Hi Juana, she said hello, first time watching. Let us know where you're from.
Yes, definitely let us know
what
where
city
you're
and
from.
state. There might be a lot of gals around you that are close to you. And
See, and I'm always about the sides because everybody forgets the sides.
Janet said, you're a pleasure to watch. Your work is beautiful.
Thank you.
And our friend Sharon Bender said, I've learned so much from you, and thanks to you, I'm crafting again. I might even post a pic. Maybe, none yet.
That means I'm not quite confident enough yet. But I encourage you to be confident enough. Oh, I remember what I did. Okay. So, what I'm going to start doing is pulling these out. It's like such destructive, habit now, but I'm going to pull these out, cut some of them down a little bit shorter, and put them where I want them to go, so that when I'm adding my filler, I can just go through and add my filler and don't second guess where I want it to go. Just slap it in there.
Huh, another Floridian.
Another Floridian?
She's from Apollo Beach, Florida.
Okay, where's that at?
Is that south or north? Is that up by,
Is Gail
I'm
on
assuming
here?
it's south. I haven't seen Gail yet, no.
Oh.
But we do have a lot of other gals from
A
Florida.
lot. Peggy?
Well, a couple gals are up in Jacksonville area, and a couple down by Orlando and further south.
Yeah, that's your neck of the woods, right?
Deborah asked, what size skillet do you use? I think it's a 6 inch, isn't it?
7.
7 inch.
But here's the kicker. Nobody can find them anymore. They don't make them anymore. I don't know why. Okay, this one's way too long. So now we know they'll all stick where they're supposed to go.
Oh, so one says she's on the west side of the state, so she's on the inlet side.
Like Gulf of Mexico side?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you guys think of the colors? Did we pick good colors? It's always hard. Like, you were with me when we got these flowers, right, babe?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I was like, oh, those are pretty. And because they come like this, I was like, I had like 3 bunches. I was like, these would make a great wedding bouquet. I'm like, we should make a wedding wreath with these. Which is what we're doing. So we're just sitting here and adding all these.
And Betty said grapevine wreaths are her favorite.
I love grapevines.
She's watching from Lufkin in Texas.
I love grapevines. So here's our really pretty one that's got the really long stem. But there was only one of them. So you have to recreate it.
Yeah, Judy said she's tried to find the little skillets, and you were right. They're hard to find. You can't find them anymore.
I think right now they're only like 5 inch or 4 inch skillets. So I'm going to take all my string. So my roses are all glued in. So, and it's all wrapped around my arm. Okay.
Yep, Rose, and the glue skillet, when you do the wreaths on the grapevine, yeah, it does stay longer. Glue stays longer in the wreath.
What?
She said skillet glue with the wreath stay longer, won't fail or won't fall.
So
They don't fall off.
I pick it up and I look at the sides because the front looks great, less the glue, but you've got to turn it and look on the side. So I see there's a bare spot right here, so we need to come in and add another floral. So we're going to add another one right there. So I'm going to tuck this one in. Because I hate holes. That's like my nitpicky thing, holes. So we'll add another rosebud to the side and let that extend so that big flowers going to small. And then
Sharon, she'll put the material list and part numbers on the private group. But the sign is from
Hobby
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, if you just go look in their his and hers section where all their wedding stuff is, that's where I got it from.
And she got the bundles of flowers from Michael's.
Yes. So, do we have another bud? No. Is there another bud in here?
There's a couple gals saying that there are some on Amazon, so some of them are looking.
What's that?
A 6-inch skillet.
Oh, okay. So, there's what I call, for me, my focal point flowers. I bring out everything that I think I might want to use. I know for here, I'm going to incorporate some of these. I'm going to find it. You can see I've already like trimmed and pulled pieces of the lilies off. So we're going to incorporate a couple stems of this. Don't want to go too high, because if you go, watch, too high,
Yeah.
then you have this really super big piece. But again, it's wired. So we can look at adding these, because they're on wires. We can make those all work. So I'm looking for ones with 3. I think it's this one, yeah. To make Steve's asymmetrical. It looks the same on both sides. Tendency to kick in.
That's a cute name for a business. She has a Buttercup Creations.
Oh, I love that.
She said, I just ordered my skillet from Amazon. I'm supposed to get it tomorrow.
You'll love it. I swear, once you have a glue skillet, I'll never go back.
And then Jean asked, what flower are you putting in now?
I believe these are called, they're not tiger lilies, these are the day lilies. So I'm actually putting them down where I want them to go. Bending these here. There we go. So I'm just adding, these are what I would call like medium-sized flowers. They're not quite as big as the rose heads. So they're not a filler, but they are kind of filling in. I'm just adding, see the sign has like the peach and blush colored roses. It has like, I guess that's supposed to be gray or white. So come in and add a couple more of these. As you can see, I've used this for the Easter one when we did the Easter floral wreath. We've had these. So I'm just gonna go in. I don't know why I second guess myself, but I'm like, just stick it in there. You'll be happy with it. Just put it in there.
Robin asked, have you taken a floral class? I've taken a floral class a long time ago.
Believe it or not, no, I have not.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, that's going to be one of the things I do with my downtime this year. So like right when our busy or our slow season is actually going to be summer, because that's when all the moms take their vacation. They're out and about, you know, with their kids. So I am going to take a floral class, which is Monday evenings, once a week. And I'm going to go do that. And hopefully make something I like, because a lot of times you take floral classes and you're making stuff that isn't exactly what you would like. You're making stuff that somebody else likes. Like, I don't know. I've gone to some floral shows and I'm like, okay, I'm not really crazy about that look. I guess I'm just classic, right? So I'm adding some of these to the outside edge. We can add, use these, I have a couple more that are already pre-cut. Like this. So kind of, wow, that's really long. I'm just kind of playing with where do I want it to stay. Where do I want it to wind up? I might have to really break it down to get it in here. Because I'm doing inner, outer, kind of top. And a couple more that are already done. Oops.
Marcy didn't think anybody else is having any issues. She said her computer froze.
Oh.
Try logging out and logging back in. It happens.
One more. And then we'll kind of come in here. Know where I want it to stop.
Have fun at camping. She said cool, or Robin did. Her and her hubby are going to be camping.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and then Kat said just arrived, so I've already discussed, sorry, florals are her favorite to do. But do you think mesh wreaths or grapevine wreaths sell better or more?
I think they sell equally. I think that there's going to be those people who are, you know, grapevine preference. That's just their call. It's hard to do a floral on a mesh. So I like doing both, and we sell both. So
Vi said I love the soft colors of the flowers.
thanks, Vi. I have to go back and glue the ones that I was playing with.
Judy, yeah, you're right, they did. She said Michael's at one time offered all kinds of classes.
Yeah, that was before we stopped doing that. So I'm trying to take some of the greenery and kind
Hi,
of
Deb.
weaving it in. And I did that one. That one I've done.
Sharon said, just love your designs, crafty lady.
We try. So I always encourage you, if you're not liking the way that it looks, keep going. Just keep going. You'll like it. Okay. She's taking all these little pieces. So you can see I've broken this down pretty well, but I will keep these as greenery. Keeping this as a glue stirrer. And I have, let's see. There we go. Okay, so we've added the lilies. Our peach roses are out. I'm trying to just stuff them there. And then what I want to do, I have a couple, there's only a couple of them, so I'm trying to find them. A handful. Did I stick them? Ah, here they are. I have some little baby white roses. And I've already sliced these down. These came from Michael's too. So they came as a big bunch. So I'm going to come in and add some baby white roses.
Maureen said that Mother's Day mesh wreath you made with the florals was beautiful.
Thank you. It's one of my favorites. It just all came together perfectly. Okay, so let me go to the other side.
Marie, I don't think I'm going to be doing a tutorial anytime soon.
You?
Yeah.
Why? You should. You
Nah.
used to.
You surpassed everything.
No. So these are the ones I was playing with. I was like, let's throw some of these in. So see where I'm saying, like, all these florals came with their own greenery, so it's adding other texture to our wreath. And I'm just looking, where do I want to add more?
Kat said I have a craft fair in a week.
You should make
Blake
one.
came on to include some Mother's Day designs that when you were doing would make a wonderful gift for any mom.
Oh.
It's true. Doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
everyday
wedding.
wreath. I think everyday wreaths are going to be what is going to be a huge seller now. So I'm trying to feather these out. So I'm playing with the roses because there's some that are short and some that are long. So I'm trying to get them to lay where I want them to lay. Sometimes it's just manipulating and maneuvering your roses. So again, we've cascaded them down. So now, I'm always looking. Probably going to take the Queen Anne's lace, which you guys know is a big, huge favorite of mine for filler. This is our filler. So now we're going to come in and just add these wherever you have holes. So this is going to kind of create that baby's breath look to the wreath. I should have some that are just free floating when I was playing with them.
Gigi was saying, "Aw, Cat, I was thinking I was not going to like it when you started adding the white, but now it's beautiful."
Dude, what were you thinking? Like, why'd you put the white in there? So I'll take this and, oh, here's the ones I was looking for. Those. They're all tucked in here. So yeah, we have to add the white. It's in that sign. The flowers are like lush and white. So now I'm just coming in and adding filler where I want to add some filler flowers.
So, Kat, if you didn't know, I actually did a wreath already last year, which was the Father's Day one.
The fishing
The
wreath.
fishing pole wreath, which was really cool.
There is a tutorial on that.
There is a tutorial on it, but guys don't buy wreaths. Their wives buy the wreaths for the guys.
They do. So be careful with the hunting and fishing ones.
Yeah.
A lot of those become inventory that just sits in your inventory.
You have to market it to the woman who would buy it for her husband.
Exactly.
Hi, Gail. Gail just jumped on.
She's on.
Unfortunately, Gail's going to have to go through knee surgery again next week, right?
Next week, Friday.
Yeah. So, Gail, we'll be praying for you again. Get all your stuff ordered so you can craft while you're out.
Okay. So I'm looking. Okay, perfect.
Rose is keeping everybody up on the scores.
What?
She saw Baylor won game tonight. Let's
Oh.
wait and see UConn will play soon.
Okay. So now we're just coming in and adding, I don't know, it's Queen Anne's lace, but people sometimes think it's baby's breath, but it's not. It doesn't look like baby's breath. I guess it kind of does. But this is where you can come in and just add some.
You gonna put any down in the bottom, or are you gonna leave it?
Nope, I'm gonna leave it like that. Of course I will. So I'm always stripping my greenery off once I'm finished, because then that just goes in a greenery bin. Like this one will stay.
Gail says she's planning on finishing her order tomorrow.
Oh, I know. I was telling her. This is what happens when you cut some, but not all of them. So as you can see, I'm trying to use the ones I've already cut. So I'm bringing them down, babe. I just have to start at the top and then bring them down.
Yeah, Brenda's like, yeah, some at the bottom too. She is.
I am.
She's getting there.
I do that on Steve because he always thinks he's like, you weren't going to bring that down, right? I'm like, nope, not going to bring it down at all.
I don't doubt her anymore.
You can. you can say, hey, there needs to be some at the bottom. So we're trying to get the leaf position to be in the right position.
Judy asks, does the Queen Anne lace grow in California?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
It is a great question. That I don't know. Now Steve's gonna go look it up. Are you?
Oh, that's good. Sharon said I do fishing wreaths during camp season and they do good. I make fish out of twigs and driftwood to go on them. That's really cool.
Yeah, I don't want to put this giant thing, so I might have to cut some of it down because it's just looking way too big. So let me get these ones done. I usually just work my way from the top down. So my goal is to get them in position. Okay, here we go again. Always on the one with the price tag. There's that one. So Queen Anne's lace basically comes in a big, huge bundle for like $7.99, and I really can break it down quite a bit. Yikes, that's way too big. I'm not even attempt to try to stick that in there. So I'm gonna look. I'll tuck it in between these two. Kind of like that.
It actually says the Queen Anne's lace grows in most of the continental United States.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I did not know that, but I do now. Thanks to you, you looked it up for me. So we're trying to tuck it in so it's not popping out greater than, like it's not taller than the roses.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to just add that as filler. And you don't have to use the giant leaves if you don't want. You can strip those out. Like in here, see if these would work. It's getting tight. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Because the leaf was too big. So it's a tad too long. And then this is where you can pick up your roses, kind of tuck them underneath. I was like, I have things attached. These are purple. We're not going to use those. So we'll cut a couple more off. Not liking that piece where it went. There we go. Yep. This is where you need like 1 or 2 more rosebuds. To just fill in. 1 more, right? You're like, no. 5 more. I have a really big branch. Okay, I will stick this right here, and then I will look.
Yeah, yes, and I'm hoping to be in my room next Friday night so I can make the live medicated and all.
Yeah, you'll be asleep.
Oh, that's good you got back on, Jean. You said you got bumped out, but you're back on.
Okay, let me look.
And Mary said it's interesting. It is pretty to put real bouquets of Queen Anne's lace in food-colored water. It changes from white to whatever color the water is.
Oh, I bet that would be really pretty.
That'd be really cool.
I'm looking. I don't see any more buds. What are these ones? Oh, here they are. See, they tuck. So I'm just going to snip these off.
Hey, girls, just join in. Janet, no, you don't type live to get notified when you're live.
Yeah, we don't have the mini chat thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just adding a couple to the very, very, very end. Turn this.
Yeah, Gail said this is her third surgery on the same knee within 1 year.
I know.
And I hope your employer lets you have your time off again. I know she was struggling with that.
FMLA, baby.
Yep.
All the way. No, that's what she found out. I was like, yes. Can't do nothing about that. On FMLA. Okay. So, our flowers. What do you guys think? So far, this is where it's at. What a debris field.
Gail said, yep, I'm covered.
I know. Okay, so we're going to attach our bow to the top, and then we'll make our bow for the bottom. So this is going to add our bow here. Again, we don't secure anything until the very, very end, so we can make sure that if we need to make any last minute changes or adjustments, we can do that. Like if you want to, obviously we're going to need to cut some of these tails a little lower. We can take these ones, pull these to the back. So let's cut the tails down just a smidge so they don't impede our sign. Like this. Last minute adjustments. Always last minute adjustments, because you just never know. Have our lace. Not this way, this way. It's always hard to try to figure that out. I'm like, wait. Fold, fold to the outside, fold to the outside. And this one just a little shorter. It's funny how the other one was a lot shorter than that. Cut this one. This is why you start your top one. It just depends on what you want. I want my scissors to the floor. So, what do you guys think so far?
Yeah, I mean, technically you could just leave it like that. You don't even have to do on the bow on the bottom.
You could stop, but I'm going to add a bow to the bottom. Worst case scenario, if it turns out that I don't like the way it looks.
Like that?
Yeah. And then you can also do this, like I was playing with this idea earlier, where you can just take little pieces of lace and you can tuck the lace, like do a half chevron bow, and then kind of tuck these little pieces if you wanted to incorporate more of the color into your floral. So let me set this to the side. Let me put it over here. Take this, stuff that back in there. then we'll start our bow, which will be super simple, but we're gonna have it, the tails a little longer so they can cascade down.
Yes, I love, love, love it.
So, ribbon, floral, 2.5, Hobby Lobby. So I have 2 rolls just in the event that this one turns out not to be long enough.
How much did you post this one for? 80?
85.
85.
So
Gee,
obviously,
how much of this can do? Yeah.
yeah, 85. Because there's so much in florals. Okay, so this ribbon is not enough. Look, this is where it ended.
Do you need some more?
I already have it.
Okay.
This is why you buy 2.
That's right.
I mean, technically you could stop, but I was like, no. I made it when I did the listing that I featured 2 bows in it. So we're gonna add 2 bows. So, hang on a second because I'm gonna go off camera. I just wanted to see how long I wanted my tail.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's like 16 inches.
You are so good. It's exactly 16 inches. Yes, 16 inches. So I'm going to do 16-inch tails. So, but it's going to have longer tails than loops. So I'm not going to have to worry about like, well, aren't you going to have to do like 10-inch loops? No.
Good night, Zelma. She said going to have to finish watching the live.
On the
battery.
replay.
Yeah, battery going dead. Love your work.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, Zelma.
Okay, so using the Bodabra, you can get these Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, Walmart. Hobby Lobby, $15.99, but you get to use your 40% off coupon. You can do it at Joann's and Michael's too. I just don't know what their price is. So the key in using the Bodabra is just twist. So here's my loop, twist. So I think I had 5 inches, which is exactly where this is going to wind up. So I'm doing 5-inch loops with the 2.5 and then 4-inch loops on the 1.5. So once you get your 2.5 measurements set, remember we have a 16-inch tail. So this is going to go right here. Is that right? No. 10 to 14. Right here. Dovetail cut. So I use wired ribbon, and the only reason I use it is number 1, it's easier to work with. Number 2, when a customer puts their seasonal wreaths away, when they go to take them out next year, it helps to have wired ribbon because all they have to do is just fluff their bows.
Yep.
And wired ribbon makes that easy to do. So to do your dovetail cut, you're going to take wired edges together. You're going to cut from the folded side to the tip of your wire. So just like this. So we're going to cut it just like so. And then you have perfect dovetail, just like so.
And Lynn, yes, the the ribbon she's using is wired. Is the lace? I don't think the lace is wired.
The lace is not, but it's really stiff. So it's okay. Like, that was the first thing I noticed too. I was like, oh, that's not wired. This one is. So again, we're doing 16-inch for the 2.5. And we'll bring these up. There we go. So here's where twist. Everything is just a twist. So then you're working with wrong side fabric facing you, and I just keep turning it because it's just easier for me to do that. I don't know why. And then just twist. And then I have my loop measurements already done. So you just put your 2 fingers in and then pull.
Now, how wide are your loops? About 5 inches?
5 inches. Yeah, because remember, I don't want my loops to be overly big. I just want my tails to be overly long. So there's that. And then we're going to go.
So everything but the lace ribbon is wired.
Everything, yes. So there's that one,
Oh, yay. Angie said, love this. I'm helping my son and daughter, or soon-to-be daughter, decorate for their wedding. I'm going to do this.
You should. This would be really good. You could put it above the table where they sign in. There's actually a sign that you can get at Hobby Lobby that said something about signing the guest book. So you could have a really nice wreath with really long tails and then have their guest book laid out. It'd look really pretty. Okay, so I'm still keeping this because I will use this for something else. Yeah, something that maybe I just need 2 tails out of this. So we will keep that. And then we're doing the 1.5 inch pink. This is wired. This came from Michael's.
That's a satin wire.
Yeah, it's a satin wired one. So we'll dovetail this. And we will do the same thing. But now we're going to come in and do only 4-inch loops with the 1.5. So making sure there's 4. And then the tails on this one are 13. I was like, how long were the other ones? Yes, they were 13. So dovetail cut. This one's done. Then we'll do the lace, which not enough, but that's why you have 2.
Sharon said, have you thought about doing a unicorn wreath? I have an order for one going out to do ombre mesh with pink, green, turquoise, and purple.
That would be pretty. I don't have an order. Maybe. Okay. Yes, I do tentatively. It's for a friend of mine, so she's not in any big hurry. So I already have the horns for it. I just haven't done it yet. So 13. We're gonna let this, we'll have long tails on this too. So I did dovetail these. So we're gonna twist, make sure our lace is the same. It's stiff enough that it'll hold up and stand up on its own.
What's the other loop? Because I think it came out.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
I have it right here.
Gotcha.
Yep, thank you. See, this is where I'm like holding 13. Here. I'll do a dovetail on this just so it looks finished. So that's here. Move this one aside. And then the last one is like a coral, but because we did so much of like this peach color, I want to pop the coral and pink out of the floral. So the 1.5 came from Craft Outlet. And then we'll be done. So do 13, 4-inch leaves.
Welcome back, Brenda. And then Lynn asked, I'll be making a 50-inch wooden rail for our anniversary party. Any ideas to make it awesome? 50th is golden, and our colors will be white, pastel, and blue.
White. Pastel.
Yeah.
Like pastel blue or pastel?
White and pastel blue.
Oh, white and pastel blue.
Yeah. Should I try to use both color schemes or just the gold?
Oh, I would incorporate gold in there, but I wouldn't go like I'm trying to think like a orangey gold, but like a gold, like a metallic gold. I think it would look really pretty.
Is the lace from Joann's or is the lace from?
Let me look. Hold on a second. The lace is from Michael's.
So Sharon, the lace is from Michael's.
So, and I think The white lace, this came from Hobby Lobby, Michael's Craft Outlet, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. So, and then I have a really super light blush pink pipe cleaner. So I'm just going to hold this, put my pipe cleaner right down the middle, kind of hold it all together, and do a little twist. I'll move this out of the way. And then we'll add this to the bottom of our wreath. So we are just going to add this to the very bottom. What do you see?
I'm gonna have to move this so when I focus on the door,
Oh,
you don't see this in the way.
thank you, babe. Okay. So now we get to do all the fluffing. So I'm going to take the tails. Let me do this again. Let me run this through where I want it to be so it won't flop. This is why we don't cut anything off until we are completely done. So if you ever have difficulty poking things all the way through your grapevine, you get a butter knife, also known as a redneck screwdriver, and you just take it, you feed it down till it gets to the other side and just slightly turn it, and that allows you to take your pipe cleaner. Trying to get my pipe cleaner. Got way too many ribbons. And feed it all the way to the bottom. Just like so. So take the other side. Butter knives.
Lynette said, hi, I love this from California. Yvonne said, hi from
What
Pennsylvania.
part of California are you from? Because we're in California.
Yeah. There's another girl here that's from Ventura.
That's
And
not
then
that far away.
Linda said, hi from Canada, beautiful. How many bunches of florals did you use?
I used one of these. I had one bunch of the baby roses. I partially carved into a bunch of the peach ones that had the little buds in them. Probably one full Queen Anne's lace, 2 dark boxwoods, 2 light boxwoods, and then one bunch of the lilies. I think I caught them all. I think that's it.
So 5 or 6
Yeah.
bunches of the different ones.
Yeah, so I'm taking all my tails, working my tails down to the bottom, and then I'll fluff the bows. So my goal is just to get the ribbon down to the bottom.
Cindy, it doesn't really have a temperature on the glue pot. It goes in like 25% or quarter, half, 75, and then full. And I think we have it between like 75 and full.
Yeah. It doesn't get super, super hot, but you don't want it so hot that it starts to smoke.
Lynette is from Modesto.
What? Okay, we have way too many people up there.
Yeah, we know their gal that joins from
Joy.
time to time, Joy Reed, yep.
She's up in Modesto.
And our daughter Caitlin is there.
Yeah. So now we're just going to sit here and start fluffing. I'm going to take this one and pull. So they're opposite. And then our
Our daughter
lace.
actually works at Sutter.
Sutter Memorial.
Yep.
So there's that. So I'm just taking my bows and pulling them in opposite directions, like I have the lace up here. the lace completely opposite, so pink's here, and then we'll have our peach down on the bottom.
And hi Connie, she's from California. Where are you from California too, Connie? And Ronna said that's beautiful. I just got on. She's from Utah.
Oh, welcome. You'll be going to Utah shortly. Right?
Jenny said, what color ribbons would you use with a peacock ribbon at Hobby Lobby?
So I can only pick from ribbons available at Hobby Lobby? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what Judy asked. She said, what color ribbons would you use with a peacock ribbon at Hobby Lobby?
A peacock ribbon. I'd have to go to Hobby Lobby and look. Because you have it depends on, I'm thinking it's like navy blue, emerald green, and like a purple. So whatever your focal point is, like for me, it was the sign. So I take the sign with me and make sure that I'm staying in the same color palette. So if you have a sign, if you have a ribbon, if you have a feather, take it with you and then just walk around Hobby Lobby and pull ribbon and then look, does this look good? Does it look coordinating? If you're gonna do bow, I usually recommend 2.5 inch ribbon and then 2 or 3 1.5 inch ribbons. So let's take this one down and put this one up.
Helena said her son works at the doctor's hospital.
Oh really?
I don't know if it's the same one. There's a couple of hospitals up there, but yeah, it's Sutter Memorial.
Okay, so now when you have what's called hanging tails, this is what a lot of us like, is the hanging tails. I think that has to almost be that way on wedding. You can spiral curl them like this. Again, this is where wired ribbon comes into play. So you can spiral all of these. This reminds me of a wedding dress. So thick, and it's got satin on the other side. So we'll do the same thing.
Kathy said she grew up in Bakersfield, but happened to be in Rogue River, Oregon. I know where that is too.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we're doing the same thing. So spiral, we just roll it around your finger in whatever direction you want. And then you can just kind of pull it if you want it really super long. You can take your ribbon and curl them up. Do the same thing with your satin, or you can go spiral with satin too. Just like so. I think we'll do that with the pink.
This is absolutely gorgeous and breathtaking. Judy said, thank you. I've never made anything yet, having difficulty with putting so many ribbons together, so I appreciate your suggestion.
Yeah, I would just honestly take whatever you want with you when you go. There's peach. And then, like I had the sign with me, so I walked around with the sign and just hold up different things, and if you like it, then you get that. Like I knew I didn't want white. So there you are. It's a little too. Trying to get this to bend the way I want it to. There we go. Like
Yeah, there's a couple outliers that are sticking out, yeah.
yeah. That's okay though. Like this one.
Yeah.
But
Just have to flip it.
no, I just like them that way. So. every time I flip it, it flips back. But there you go. What do you guys think?
It said turned out amazing, stunning, love it, gorgeous.
Thank you.
Linda, yeah, this will be posted to YouTube later tonight or tomorrow. We'll get it up there.
We'll try it.
And then Trixie said, love the ribbon scroll. That's an awesome wreath.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can make them go way longer and then really like spiral curl them. But yeah.
Might need to push the bottom ribbon up just a touch. Looks like it's hanging down.
You can do whatever you'd like because we haven't taken the pipe cleaners off. So, yeah, whatever you like. And then, of course, you'll go back in and you'll trim out your pipe cleaners and kind of tuck all that stuff down so it's nice and pretty. But any questions you guys have? These I think I'm keeping. Any questions, babe?
This thing's stunning. Love it. Beautiful. You always seem to make it look so easy. Thank you for another great tutorial.
Just
I
go
said
with
love
it.
the color combination.
So remember what someone said, they weren't really sure about the white until we start adding it?
Right.
You just gotta keep going. Just finish it all the way through. Just keep going until you get to your filler flowers. And then if you don't want to glue anything in, you can just leave it like that until you like it or love it or want to take something out, and then go back in and start gluing them all in.
Looks beautiful.
Thanks. Okay, so private group, Sunday, 5 o'clock in the private group page. We're doing lantern swag to go with this look. So we're probably going to be incorporating some of the ribbon, similar floral to that, but we'll teach you how to take and create lantern swag, which you can use as the centerpiece or centerpieces for the tables. Monday, book club, chapter 17. The discussion for Monday is I am defined by my weight, which is a perfect chapter for a lot of us because we struggle with our weight, and a lot of us think that we have to hit a specific number on the scale in order to be content. So come join the conversation. If you want to pick up the book, it's Rachel Hollis's Girl Wash Your Face. It's about the 20 lies women believe and how that impacts the plan that we should have for our lives and how that can hold us back. And then next Friday, we're going to be doing a beach wreath. So I think we're going to be doing a mermaid wreath. So that should be interesting. So join us next Friday for that. And I think that covers it. I wanted to make sure I hit all those points before we went on live. So I thank you again for choosing to join us on Friday. If you're YouTubers, make sure you subscribe. If you are just joining us for the first time, make sure you like and follow my page. By doing so, you should be notified whenever we go live, as long as you're in Facebook or on Facebook when we go live. You get a little pop-up that says, hey, we're live now. And that's it.
Sharon, I think she said earlier she's going to take a class, but she hasn't taken any classes yet.
The floral class? No,
Yeah.
I have to go talk to the people and find out when it starts again.
Gotcha.
So it's just a short 6-week class, but you go and you learn and then you're done.
And then tell everybody about your private group and your website.
Oh, website, really simple. KatsCreationsNMore.com. So it's just like, wow, look, got turned. KatsCreations, the letter N, and then more.com is where you can find out all the information about my private group. It's $17 a month. You get between 2 and 4 tutorials. A lot of them are business class orientated. It's like 2 business, 2 extra tutorials. You get access to my whole library, discounts from all of our online vendors that we have partnerships with.
Material lists for each wreath you make.
Yeah, material lists like this. Everyone gets like, they get this. So this is my materials list of everything that I use to create. So it's done with links to purchase all this stuff from all the places that I purchase from. And then a great community of like-minded people who everyone's doing it for a different reason. We have 70, 80-year-old grandmas doing it as a new chapter in their life. We have moms that are doing it, and people are doing it for business. Other people are just doing it to make great things to give to people.
Yep, and she's on Instagram and Pinterest.
Yep, you can find me on Instagram and Pinterest at KatsCreationsNMore. So I think I covered it all.
Okay.
All right, everyone. I will talk to you later, and I will see private group Sunday at 5. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.